Welcome to Daily Plunge. We're in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 16, verses 1 through 9. Jesus tells us another parable about a rich man and his manager, his steward. Now, who is the rich man? Who's the master? It's God. So who do you think might be the servant, the manager? Maybe us, maybe others. He said a certain manager is accused of wasting his master's wealth. And he says, "What is this I hear about you?" And I want to ask you, what does God hear about you? How are you using the blessings that God has entrusted to you? Because everything you have, it's not yours. It's going to go away when you die. So what are you doing with the gifts that the Lord has given you? And he says, you're going to have to give an account. And certainly we will in the last day. And so he says, I know that I'm going to be held accountable. The master's going to take away my job, and I'm too lazy to work, and I'm too proud to beg. So let me figure out what I can do. He said, so that people will like me, right? That they're going to welcome me into my home. So he decides to use his master's stuff to make friends. And he cuts a deal with other people, these debtors. And the master comes back, and what does he do? Does he scold? Does he scold the manager? No. In fact, he commends him. He honors him. He said, even though he's described as a dishonest or an unrighteous manager, shockingly, the master commends him for being shrewd. And Jesus says this, that the people of this world, that they're more wise, they're more shrewd in dealing with others, using the wealth that they have, buying favors, bribing people in a certain way, right? And using those things to build themselves up. And he says the people of the light, they should be shrewder, they should be more wise about using the resources of their kingdom, of God's kingdom, to influence people, to get people to like them. And so the question I have as the people of God is, are we willing to risk God's resources to make friends for the kingdom? Are we willing to be extravagant in laying out God's grace and love and forgiveness? Or do we only parcel it out in small amounts, afraid that we got to make sure we get every dime's worth, right? Like it belongs to us. Do we use the worldly and the short-term wealth of this world, things we've been entrusted with, to reach people for the kingdom? Or do we hoard what we have, thinking that somehow it's going to run out? Because it's not going to go with us into heaven. So you think about what's going to be gone in the end is it's going to be the wealth, the worldly wealth. How are we building for an eternal future for ourselves and for others? Are we, as children of the light, people of the kingdom, are we measuring things by the worldly wealth or by spiritual riches? And there's a big difference. So let us be shrewd managers, who cut a deal with God's grace, love, and forgiveness. Well, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.